Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. This is Doug Sashery, and as always, I am joined by
Rob Mendiola.
Greetings, Rob.
Greetings.
We are recording today, aren't we?
We are.
I had to check the button.
My voice is a little bit better today.
Yeah,
Getting there.
You sound better, man. Your wife sounds better too. Y'all haven't infected me with your.
Oh, I don't know what that was about, man. But it definitely lasted over 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it got her pretty good too, which is usually she's in and out.
Right. Usually she's not affected by it as much as I am.
No, but she took her time, man. But
it's a beautiful, windy Sunday out here today.
It is.
Studio.
It is, and lots of sun. So I think it's going to 89 degrees today, man.
Wow. Well, we got a nice breeze, though, so we shouldn't feel it that bad.
No, it still feels cold to me outside. So
what are we up to today, Doug?
Today, we are talking with Scott of... God dang, I was going to say Power Trip, but no, it's... Hold on. Why is my Scott?
Let Scott introduce it.
Takeoff. You got
Power
it.
Takeoff.
You're close.
Damn.
You had the first one right.
Man, I am so sorry, Scott. Yeah, it's Power Takeoff.
No. Hey, it's Sunday, man. I'm feeling the same. So no, good for you. You guys talked about 89 degrees. It's about 45 here today in Wisconsin. So,
Wisconsin.
But yesterday it was 82 here. So kind of weird, right?
That is very weird.
Yeah, 40-degree difference.
That's how Texas rolls too, man.
Yeah,
yeah, that time of year.
Yeah.
I would say Power Takeoff is, now to me, and they were fantastic to see live, and the reason why I'm going to say that is because to me, in the 2B and subgenres of music there's out there, I want to call Power Takeoff fun rock.
Rock.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. They basically remind me of Bowling for Soup. In that, you know who Bowling for Soup?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
1985.
No.
Come on.
Maybe if you play the music.
I know what you're exactly. Yeah, no, I take that as a compliment. So thank you.
I figured that you would. Is that kind of where you want to be, or I mean, just like I said, to me, it's that realm.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of do what we do, and I don't.
It just happens, huh?
I mean, everybody's got their own interpretation, and like one guy can't mean said, "You guys remind me of Cheap Trick," and I take that as a compliment too. I mean, great songwriters, you know, and
timeless.
Honored to be in that category, and they ain't too far from us. You know, they're about an hour and a half. Those guys kind of grew up and. They played around here. I was a little bit too young yet, but I mean, I got buddies, sound guy buddies and stuff too. And they're like, oh yeah, Cheap Trick would play here all the time. And there'd be 40 people here, you know, and kind of cool to hear those stories, you know, because at Power Takeoff, we're paying our dues right now, you know, and we can go to a place and there's 400 or 500 people. And the next night you go and you're playing for 35, but you know, you're doing your best. And that's just part of the business, I think. You know?
Is.
It kind of is how
we've seen that here too. You know, with nationals come in. Yeah,
and you never know what you're going to get crowd wise. You know, and I think the Midwest for some reason is better, but I'm not sure that
for live music.
Yeah, for live music, I for some reason I think they go out and support the bands better. I just think they do.
Yeah, Madison, Wisconsin is a little rough, and we compete with a lot of, everybody wants the cover band thing. And I got friends that play in cover bands. I got nothing against it, but as far as for original music, and Madison's kind of that liberal city, you think they'd be more kind of out to hear new, music, art, it all kind of comes hand in hand. And around here too, we can hit a couple cool rock clubs But for the most part, we play the small little bowling alley that's, on the next in the next town, but too, then we get out and we played some major cool rock clubs, Georgia. There's so many like that Georgia. In Iowa, there's cool places, and it seems like you say, that Midwest. But Texas treated us real good when we were there too. They blew the PA that night that you saw us. Did you hear that whole story?
Yeah, I did hear that, man.
Felt bad for those guys, and they were good guys. That
you didn't
night,
take a gun to the sound guy?
No.
Yeah.
No, they had,
Some they had a DJ the night before, and they hooked up something wrong,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
when we started rocking, the subs cut out, and they never came back on. And that's the way it goes. That's rock and roll. You still got to get up there and do it, you know. And we had a great time that night, Doug, and it was nice to meet you.
Yeah, same, man. I thought so as well. You know, you come from Wisconsin, which is the land of 1,000 music festivals, man. You know, I've been up to Northwoods Rock Rally. Did we talk about that? I think when I saw you, I can't remember, man. I
don't know. I don't think we did. I don't know that one, but I hear what you're saying. I mean, yeah, summertime rolls. There's just music events, and we hit quite a few of them.
Yeah, that thing
like
is
this summer too. We're hanging around here just because we can keep busy here, you know, and no disrespect towards the road, but the road, it's hard to make money on the road, you know, and we go out now and we got 2 weeks in Florida. We leave April 7th, and I think we come back the 21st. I think we come back, and it's just across Florida doing a lot of those biker rallies and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
And great time, great exposure. And, but yeah, it's just when it costs you, you know, $300 or $400 to get to the next town, you know, it's hard to make money that way. So we tend to grab these tours and we do them. But the summertime around here too, I mean, people pay us pretty decent to go play these festivals, and we're a little more known around here than the rest of the globe, you know, so, but we're working on it. So work in progress.
That's right. And you also have the joy of playing with your son, Aiden, too.
That's cool.
Yep. No, that's the biggest joy of all. And that's it kind of for me being, you know, I'm kind of the dad of the group. Ethan, he's 21. Our bass player is 23. Mike, Cowboy, we call him, on the guitar. He's been my dear friend for 29 years. And so he's a little more middle-aged, like he's 8 years behind me. I'm 55. Okay. But yeah, with these younger guys and the enthusiasm and playing with my son, I mean, just enjoy every moment, you know. But when there's problems, guess who's got to figure it out?
Yeah.
So the eldest, and that's me. So dad, you know. But yeah, great group of people. We've had this lineup. The band's been together for about 4 years, and we've had this lineup for 3.5. So. You know, when you start a band, everybody wants to play in a band, but when they turn towards you and they go, this is a lot of work, you know, and everybody wants to be the rock star, you know, that's easy.
Yeah, they don't want to do the work coming up to, you know, the grind, the load in, load out, the rehearsals, especially that a lot of people want to fluff on. No, you got to make the rehearsals and you got to sell merch. You know, that's the only way that bands can survive these days, you know, is.
Yeah, you got to get merch. You got to organize it. You got to make phone calls. You got to go meet somebody, you know, when you're the DIY and we kind of do that right now. We just signed a girl with a girl named Crystal out of Nashville who owns Gravel Road. I think Music Agency is what it's the proper Gravel Road Music Agency.
It's not Crystal Gans, is it?
No, Crystal Sykes is her name. And she just took us on. And I mean, you know, we're really kind of that. I mean, with father son, we tend to float more towards versus, in no disrespect, you know, everybody's got their thing. Like we're more like family orientated. I mean, father son, you know, I don't want to say we sing happy songs, but you kind of started it out that way. We're pretty happy guys, but the father son thing and you know, those kind of just those crowds that, you know, you can have people my age. And like I said, I'm 55 and they're bringing their 13, 14-year-old kids out to see us play.
No, that's what,
and
keeping it all positive.
Time.
Yeah, no, I'd say this is, y'all are the perfect band. If somebody wanted to have an event like on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon, and this would be a great band to hire. Yeah, like I said, they are fantastic at that. Like y'all are.
Thank you.
You bring good times.
Yeah, there's a lot of those street festivals, and I think we're going to Nashville to play a street festival coming up here too. But they're, you know, in Chicago and stuff, and we've done some of that stuff, and that's just where we tend to shine. But you know, those don't happen all the time, and like I said, we play bowling alleys. Last night we were in Westby, Wisconsin, which is 2 hours from here, and great people, nice place. But there anything goes, and there's a smaller towns where they're just not quite as strict on things, and people are drinking out in the street, and there's no cops to be found. I mean, it's just that rural living.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we were there last night, had a great time, and everybody rocked. And the thing we do, the music business, in my opinion, just the younger generation. I have a 23-year-old son who's a DJ guy, and he loves it. And he goes to Tokyo and DJs.
Wow.
He goes to Chicago and DJs. And it's DJ Schwank is his name. And he sold a song to Beat Saber. It's on a video game. And here's my son who hangs out in the basement, and he's 23 years old. He's got 1 million downloads on one of his songs, and we're fighting for 60, 70,000, but that's just the world. That's where the world is right now,
Yeah, well, now that's definitely where the world is right now. You don't know how you're going to hit, man, and but you just have to keep trying new stuff. Don't
keep swinging.
Yeah, don't keep doing the same things.
Yep, thank you. Good advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dude, let me ask you, man. How did you start off? Because you've obviously been in the game for a little while. So how did you start?
Are you on guitar or what instrument are you?
He's a
I sing vocals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
vocals.
I was a drummer started drumming 35 years.
Wow.
I played drums,
Hey,
and played in bands and punk bands, and did the van tours in your area, Texas. In the July, and you guys tend to get a little warm.
Oh yeah.
The no air conditioning van, eating bread. I think one tour I lost 35 pounds. My wife was like, didn't even recognize me when I got back. You just don't have no money, and you just keep going. And every bit you make goes back into the gas tank. But you're playing music for a living, and you're doing it, and you're entertaining people, and seeing smiles on people's faces and stuff, and it makes it all worthwhile. But yeah, so I'm a guy who's paid his dues behind a drum kit.
Wow.
And then when COVID, my biggest inspiration was Van Halen in 1984. I think I was in 6th or 7th grade at that point.
Yeah, you're my age.
Yeah. So huge influence. Never thought of singing. My mom always was like, you have such a nice voice. You should always sing. And I'd be like, yeah, Mom, whatever. Your mother always tells you that, right?
Right.
So the thought of singing never came in, or writing songs even, came in my head at all until Aiden, when, he was, I think, 15 at the time, when he started high school, because he always wanted to play. He's a good little guitar player, a great drummer. He writes songs. And I always said, dude, when you get to high school, man, you're going to meet so many band guys, and you're going to get a band going. And I was kind of retired at that time. I didn't really want too much to do with it. I paid my dues, and then it was like his freshman year, and starts going to school, and met a couple people, jammed. Now in high schools they have recording studios. Yeah. So that's crazy to me. I wish I would have had a recording studio in my high school. But then that I think it was January 19th is when COVID hit, and then the world was pretty much done for a while, as far as, no bands were playing, no anything. Right. There's just no activity. So we started writing songs in the basement, and him and I together, and he was going to sing some, I was going to sing some. And it just, behind the drums, he feels like a microphone is kind of an anchor to him. He wants to, you've seen him, Doug. I mean, he's a Tommy Lee kid, just the flailing arms and the twirling drumsticks, and the entertainment value that he puts into the band is just incredible. But so that's kind of how it started. And at the end of COVID, we had like 4 songs, and we went to my friend Paul, which is Ethan's dad, at Megatone Studios. It's a town called Mount Horeb, 20 minutes away from here. And me and Aiden went and recorded with Paul, and Paul's a great guitar player. I don't know if you remember a band Last Crack in 1991, but they had a deal, and they did a lot of touring and went across seas. So, Ethan kind of, our guitar player, kind of came. I'm getting ahead of myself, but Paul, we wanted Paul to play with us, and he said, "Hey, my son Ethan is interested in getting a band together." And at that time, Ethan, I think, was 16. No, he was 17 because he's 2 years ahead of Aiden. And it's Aiden and Ethan. So Aiden's drummer, Ethan's guitar player. So it gets confusing. And I call them both by the wrong name all the time.
That's funny.
So, and then their stage names, we call them Slim and Hank. So there's Slim and Hank. And then Cowboy, who's Mike. It's confusing. And I can't imagine you guys trying to sort this out, doing this with a video or the virtual, non-virtual. But
yeah.
So we had a guitar player we had a guy in mind, came out and jammed, and he was a dear friend of mine. But when Paul said Ethan would be interested in playing, we had Ethan out, and Ethan just brought all this energy and very talented player for his age. Started coming up with guitar solos. We all started writing together. So a dear friend of mine, guitar player, it's hard to say, "Hey, dude, we don't want you."
Yeah.
But, when you're trying to, and you're with your kid and he wants to make it as successful as possible, and Ethan was just such a perfect fit, and it was somebody that's more Aiden's age.
Yeah,
so
good
that's
balance.
Yeah. So, so they have been pretty much like best friends for the last 3.5 years, and they'll just keep going after me. Right. I just go, "Oh God, if we could have like 5 years where it just be good and I can show these guys, what it's about and you're playing in a band and the touring and, there's a lot of hanging out in touring." And I have to say our band, we're professional hanger outers for sure. So that's kind of the story. Sorry, I got a little off base there, but that's kind of how it started.
Definitely kicking off
influences and stuff.
Kicking the younger generation off and passing that on.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
And I hope by the end of it, they're just knowledgeable on it, and I've already, I've been in the music business 35 years on drums and now 4 years singing. So almost 40 years. And, they're learning probably from me what not to do.
Well, that's cool too.
No, it's a good.
We make mistakes, and we're constantly trying to just get music out there, talk to people.
Definitely a strategy thing nowadays.
Yeah, and we did an interview with some DJ Grant and Barbara out of New Zealand, of all places. Wow. We did a virtual thing with them, and that was really cool. And we've kind of been doing like what I do with you. I mean, what we're doing here today, and just trying to spread the word of Power Takeoff and just trying to get it going, and we do every milestone, recording. And we've been to LA, we've been to Nashville. We've recorded with Paul here at Megatone, Ethan's dad. We kind of just keep trying to pound it out, meet people. I think that's a lot where it's just networking and getting to know people and figuring it out,
Staying in front of people.
Yeah. Because, it used to be, if you'd get your song on the radio, 20 years ago or 10 years ago even, you were doing really good, and it was just such a great outlet, and radio had the market cornered for sure, because look what's out there now. It's our A&R lady says too, Spotify, 125,000 songs a day.
Dang.
New artists get released on
right.
that. How do you compete?
Yeah, that is crazy, man. You're right about what you said about the radio. It was such a big deal, and I knew guys that they made it in with some radio guy, and they got their music played, and it was the biggest thing. Man, everything is so, it's I want to say it's so computer there's no human.
Well, getting the song out back in the 80s was a big expenditure, and now you can do it at your home.
Yes, the balance.
The laptop,
Yeah.
So it's a lot cheaper, and that's why you're seeing all these singles going out every day, getting online,
Yeah. In the days of the whole album, where it's, and bands are starting to get back into that. And we did a whole album, and we have a vinyl and stuff. Yeah. But, when it's on Spotify, I mean, or videos on YouTube even. I mean, there's no order. People skip to what they think or what they hear.
Right.
We have a song called Angels Sing, and that's not released, but it's on our album. And, a guy will come up to me a couple of weeks ago and he said, I really like that Angels song. What's that about? And why can't I find that on Spotify? I said, hey, you actually got to buy the album. And he did buy the album and I appreciated it, but I said, I don't want to make you buy it. He says, I just love that song. But we play it live too, so, the radio thing, just give you a little history, like when I was drumming and stuff too. And if you can get a song on the radio, and I played in a band that kind of had a novelty song about the Green Bay Packers, and we sold 50,000 copies of that song.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, they started playing that on the radio here locally even, and all of a sudden our crowds went from 100 people to 600 people, and that was just local radio stations.
That's pretty cool.
So it's kind of. But I don't know how you duplicate that now. And everybody says, oh, you got to make a funny, TikTok and I'm like, I don't even, I barely know what TikTok is.
Right.
The younger guys do.
Right.
And they do it. But, me being a farm guy, I'm a farmer, so technology is not, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of farmers that are on the edge of technology and study everything, and it's computers and
science
and the tractors drive themselves, and everybody's got a program. But to me, I mean, at 55 years old, that's so far above my head, and partly why I'm a retired farmer now. Last year was my last summer. I hauled my last load of corn on July 29th.
That's pretty cool, man.
But but technology, costs of everything, fertilizer, just everything's so expensive.
Yes.
And technology is really kind of the leader in the egg industry now. And I had the option to take over my family farm, but me and Aiden, we just started this band, and I'm like, you know what, this is my new venture. And Dad and my uncle were fine with it. We were family farmers for my whole life, farmed with my grandfather at a young age. So, sadly he's not around, but yeah, so it's just technology with me. I'm just not really up to date on that stuff. Mm-hmm. And, our A&R girl goes, well, you're going to have to learn it. And I'm like, but I don't want to.
You get that. Hey, get the kid on it.
Yeah,
man.
really.
Make damn sure that they do. Cause it is so important today and it doesn't matter. And it's best that they get on it because they any kind of future that they want to have on that that's a definite plus these days. That's the, that's the finding the DJ, is finding the right video that you put out or the right clip. It's so weird. I tell my kids all the time that I'm just trying to stay relevant in my business. Things change.
Yeah.
Well, now with the AI,
and you have to, but I hear you. I'm stubborn on it, but I got the younger guys to worry about that stuff.
Yeah,
that's right.
So,
that's why you got them in tow, man. They got to carry their end.
Yep.
You can teach them. You can teach them a hell of a lot of things. Let them get on that edge. That should be their edge at that age.
Yeah. No, and any phone problems, I just hand it to them, or any. My wife's real good at technology too, but I'm just that old stubborn farmer, I guess.
Hey, no, it's man. Look, my mom's family's from Ohio, so I know it well. Things I don't see up, down here that I saw up there was, you putting the dried ear of corn into the little thing and you grind it, and it shoots out the little kernels.
Sure. Yeah,
I've never seen that down here. I'm sure it exists, but I've never seen it in my life. But the only time I see it is when you go up north, and there's something to be appreciated. Like I said, in my opinion, y'all have great crowds in the Midwest. Like I said, Wisconsin has got so many. Even you didn't know. Like I said, there's so many music festivals. That festival, Northwoods Rock Rally, is. I think it's on Highway 8. I think that's the highway to the east of Ladysmith. And
okay, yeah, so you're way up north. You're probably about 3 or 4 hours from us.
Yeah,
up north there more.
That was my memory. Oh, hey, I have a question for you.
Sure.
And have you ever taken the Lake Express before? Between Michigan and I'm considering doing that this year, and I'm like, I wonder how that is, man.
What is it?
It's like a ferry between Muskegum, Michigan.
It towed your car?
And Milwaukee. Yeah, but I mean, it hauls ass, and it's only, it's not during the winter part of the year because you don't want to be Edmund Fitzgerald, down at the bottom. But you can. There's a VIP area. It's got you can sit up in. It's got Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff. It looks like a cool little thing. It's about a 2-hour trip.
And you pay to get that?
Oh yeah, you got to pay to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I'm curious.
Yeah, I bought a motorcycle at one time, and I bought a motorcycle out of Michigan, and our rig, we call it, that won't fit on the ferry, but we go to Detroit and we've recorded with a Chuck Alkazian, and he's worked with everybody in the business too, and he's a real nice guy. But yeah, I thought that was an option. But when I bought a motorcycle, I just drove a pickup, and I was going to haul it home, and but something about for 2 wheels, it was almost as much as a car. It was. I thought it was a little expensive for a full vehicle, but I thought they said something. Do you spend the night on it or no?
No, it's just 2 hours. I mean, look, I want to say it's like a $200.
Wow.
But look, I mean, I'm giving Rob a visual here. You got 2 choices. You can you can do that. Well, you have 3 choices. You can do that, or you can go all the way around Lake Michigan through Chicago and
all
back,
the way around.
Back up, or you can go all the way through northern Michigan, which that's a whole other journey, and then come back around. So that's the difference. Now it'll save you a ton of hours if you're going somewhere on there. But I'm just curious. I wanted to take it. I thought about it. I was left the machine shop, and I think I was in Grand Rapids, which isn't too far from there. And
you should just do it just for the experience.
I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do it.
Yeah, go for it, dude. I would go for it.
Yeah, that's
it's beautiful country there. There's a lot of beautiful country around that area.
I agree, man. Like I learned, northern Michigan is just totally beautiful, man. That is.
Yep. You just want to out of winter. Don't go in the winter.
No,
right?
no, I don't want nothing to do with it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, in fact, I was gonna be up in Flint last weekend, but something came up that I had to go to St. Augustine, Florida, and I couldn't miss this opportunity. And it was the easiest day to schedule the thing in Florida. So
okay.
Yeah, and I looked at Scotty and them were in Flint, and I looked at it and I was like, yeah, it's a good thing I did miss that, because they got pounded with snow. Now I've been up there when it's been piled to the side of the road, but it hadn't snowed on me, so. But I don't.
We've gotten right up to the UP, but like you say, you go all the way to the top of the lake and then go, and that's the route, right on that Upper Peninsula line, But I mean, I don't know if you ever, on a summer night, if you ever go out that way and look up at the sky, I mean, I've never seen a sky like that where it's just, I mean, the stars, the Milky Way, you just see it all, cool. In Madison, you don't get that.
There's very few places now
Texas
you can do
where
that.
you guys are. Yeah. You're in the middle of nowhere, but you got no cell service. If you got a breakdown, you're screwed, but it's definitely that Upper Peninsula, Michigan and northern, we just keep going north. It's just a Sasquatch country.
It is. They have them everywhere too. The little little cutouts thing, everywhere up there, man. But
I'm a believer.
Is that where it originated?
We got more than a few friends. No, legend. I mean the legend lives on. No, it's not the Edmund Fitzgerald song. It's the I think it's the Pacific Northwest. I'd say Oregon or Washington, but that's
all right.
Yeah. So,
but he travels evidently.
Yeah. Look, I would just tell you this. I tell Malcolm, and he's on that boat too. And I tell him, I'm like, look,
oh yeah. No, I know what you're talking. Yeah, Malcolm Springer, great guy.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I didn't know you knew Malcolm, but yeah, I told Malcolm, he's been at the house and we were talking. I said, look, man, I said Bigfoot existed in South Louisiana. We done killed and ate and extincted his ass a long time ago, man. Because there's nothing that we won't cook and eat down there, man. And but
wasn't it Stephen Pulley that was a big
Pulley was big, yeah.
Yeah, he's big into that too.
Yeah, but I got Hey, look, I'm open to anything, man. But I am very much a got to see it, touch it, taste it type of guy.
No, so. I hear you, and I my wife, she's fun. I still believe, she's always giving me a hard time. But yeah, honestly, if the government can track down, the minuscule things that they do, whether it's people or whatever, you'd think they'd find a freaking guy 10 feet tall out in the middle of the woods. But
yeah.
But I do believe when they say, "Oh, the government, they got aliens," and there's some sort of I heard Ethan, our guitar player, was telling me a couple weeks ago, he goes, they might be coming out with the truth and what they have, and I'm like, and they're gonna go, yep, and we got 8 Bigfoots, we got 2 Loch Ness monsters, 8 aliens, it's
kind of like the embedded reporter when they do the war stuff. I'm like, sometimes it's better we don't know. But I don't know which.
Absolutely.
I don't know which way is right or wrong. But sometimes, I don't want to know. Don't tell me those things. But yeah, no, you're right, man. Hey, I gotta ask you. We gotta direct people to find you online, so you can find Power Takeoff on any of the streaming platforms. That's a given. But what about your social media, man?
Our website is the Power Takeoff Band. Everything kind of, Power Takeoff, that's kind of a farm term.
Is it? Okay.
We did PTO for a while, and everybody's like, paid time off, and I'm like, no, it's Power Takeoff. And being a farmer, you know what the Power Takeoff on a tractor does. It runs the machine behind. You have a shaft that you hook up to the Power Takeoff on the back of the tractor.
I know what you're talking about now.
I hate attaching the attachments to that.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what kind of, it's all about. But everything. But you type in Power Takeoff, and literally, every tractor company comes up, and they got the back of their tractor. So I always just tell everybody, hey, Power Takeoff Band. That's what our website is. Facebook, all that is Power Takeoff Band. Instagram,
YouTube,
TikTok. Am I missing anything?
YouTube.
YouTube. Yep. YouTube's Power Takeoff Band. Yep. And you get, I think we got 4 or 5 videos up. So
cool.
But they're, low budget. We do it ourselves. Got friends that have some cameras, and
sometimes those are the best ones though.
Yeah. We've had a lot of fun making them. We've been, Revolution was one. We went to a train graveyard, and, pretty much we've had trains from 1970, and it was just a crap load of them. I mean, it was just a whole junkyard full of trains, and got to stand and play on them, and that video was filmed in a train junkyard.
Yeah.
We did a video of Dixie Cup. That's our latest release, and that was done at a bowling alley. That brings you. I don't know. You guys bowl a lot around the Texas area?
Or we bowl not well, but bowl, yes.
Well, I don't either, but I didn't know if that was a Midwest thing.
Oh no, it's everywhere, man.
No, the big in Texas.
Okay. But yeah, so that was done in a video, and the thing I like about the bowling alley, there's so many different colors in a bowling alley. I don't know if you ever go to the lane, how just the contrast, and now with the DJ systems and the light shows and just the blonde, wood floor, it's a bright video. It's kind of neat compared to some of the other ones. Train Graveyard, to me, it's a little darker. It's just not as bright of colors. But yeah, we got an old song, the first song me and Aiden ever wrote together, "Keep Truckin'," and that's on there. And we had a female keyboard player at that point. Mm-hmm. And we kind of started as we're going to be like a country hard rock band. And then, we kind of just morphed into this I mean, we get kind of labeled as pop punk, but
yeah, okay.
I mean, pop rock, pop punk rock. Easy listening. We're a little loud, but we're young and it's funny. Everywhere we go across the United States, no one ever complains about volume, and in fact, they tell us to turn up.
Yeah.
And we play in Wisconsin, and it's so loud. We can't talk. Well, why do you want to talk? You're at a rock show,
right. Bang your head.
That's what breaks are for, or between bands. We get to talk then. But it's funny. We were in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I mean, the guy just kept going, turn up your amp. And Ethan would hit it and turn it to 4. We barely get past 3 a lot of nights. And he'd take it to 4. And I want to hear more. He had that guitar amp on 8. I mean, I was just like, it blew. But don't get me wrong. I love it. I like volume. You feel it with the volume, it kind of sucks you in a little easier.
It. Yeah.
I got a question for you. And he, goes back to bowling on I think it's bigger there in the Midwest than it is here.
Yeah, I mean it's died down in the years, obviously.
And a lot of thing is too is because I think weather related. You can go
we got a lot more crappy weather here in the winter anyway.
Now let me ask you this, because you talked about playing. I know of one in Lafayette that they have in Louisiana. Is and it's called like Rock and Bowl. Is that a big thing over there where bands will play at bowling alleys?
Well, his band plays at the bowling alley.
That's what he told me. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, there's now too. I mean, one person can own anywhere from 500 to 200 bowling alleys. It seems that it's just no one owns just one bowling alley anymore. So you can get in with one, kind of like the casinos too, where we've done quite a few casinos. You get in with one and kind of 5 come along with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, every bowling alley, like a bowling alley in Belleville, Wisconsin, where its population, 900 people, that's a little rougher to fill than the bowling alley that's, more east side of Madison that, has that more population.
But do y'all have the music tied into the bowling? Like I said, that's not even a thing here, except for, like I said, I know one place in Lafayette, and I know there's another one somewhere. But is it more popular up there where bands actually do play at bowling alleys?
Pretty much every bowling alley a band will play. Wow. Yeah, it's very common.
Yeah, we don't.
And that's why we can do.
I've never played a bowling alley.
So that's where they came from, the Midwest. Now I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess that's what. Yeah, it's just a different. You guys are a little different culture, and for us, it's bowling leagues all winter long. From November 1st to March 1st. It's bowling leagues, and I got buddies that bowl every Wednesday night, and I like bowling, but I don't know if I want to be on a league.
Yeah. But no, that's
a little more serious than I want to be. But
that's very cool.
But it's funny. Yeah. That is weird. That you're right. I mean, every place around here, every bowling alley. Yeah, they got bands that play.
That's pretty cool.
Wow, that is, like I said, see that scratched that curiosity.
They don't really appreciate, original music. Like and when we do a night, like we have the luxury that, I mean, we have a repertoire where we kind of do a lot of country, but we like totally punk rock it up, and like Gamblers like 100 miles an hour, and we'll play it, by Kenny Rogers. So that we can get away with playing in bowling alleys. We like our original stuff, but like when you saw us too and we're on tour, you get a half hour to 45 minutes a night. Around here it's more like they hire one band for 2 the night.
Hours.
There's not a lot of there's not those 3-4 band bills don't really happen. There's one downtown club that we play next Friday, and that's with 5 bands, and that's more like the situation where you saw us in Texas there, Doug, where, there's a stage, there's a light rig, there's a house PA, I mean, it's more of a rock club than, a bowling alley or a little neighborhood bar that has music in the corner, Oh,
yeah. And that's
so we play plenty of those.
Yeah. That really, that was a curiosity. And now I know where that came from. Because like I said, it's not a thing here. Well, I think it's a great concept, but I had to come from somewhere. Okay, the people that owned it in Lafayette, probably somebody came from up north and did that. That's probably
anything to get people in to buy beer.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, fuck, I'd love that. Can you bowl and the band plays at the same time too, or is it no?
Usually they got kind of the bar section, then where the stage is, and then there's that wall, and then then the shoe place, and then it faces the lanes where you get your shoes, So you can watch the band through kind of that square, but that through the wall there that kind of separates the shoes and the bar. I don't know. I think bowling alleys are all kind of set up the same to a certain degree.
Oh, yeah,
but
they are.
Still a stage. But yeah, it was a real, common thing, 20 years ago where, you'd bowl and then you'd go in the bar afterwards and you'd watch the band and you'd get kicked out at 2:00 in the morning, And
that is very cool.
Now, yeah, but Doug, everybody seems to go home at 11:00 now. Shows are from 7 to 11.
Absolutely.
Where it used to be 10 to 2.
Yeah,
and they'd have to kick people out, and then sweep up all the beer and the cans that were laying all over the floor from the crowd that was there. And now our sound man and I talk about it. I'm like, dude, everybody goes home at 10:30. It's so weird,
Yeah, but that is different. It has changed. The shows start earlier than they used to, And
what's the crowd favorite food at these bowling alleys? Do you think?
Wisconsin's kind of known for the cheese curds, right? Cheese curds, yeah. They're just little round balls of cheese, and you throw them in the deep fryer.
Huh.
You guys got mozzarella sticks, don't you? Kind of
mozzarella sticks, yeah. Is it mozzarella balls?
Cheese curds are, mozzarella balls. Yeah,
okay.
That's what you'd call them.
Cheese curds.
So
eat that with a sauce or something.
The younger ones, they like, get me ranch. Get me. I was like, I just eat them plain. I think they taste good, But
wow,
they all want their dressings. We're not that far apart from each other, but it's kind of interesting.
It is.
It's a little bit of culture,
Right.
You guys call it soda or pop or what do you guys?
Coke.
Oh, Coke. Everything's a Coke here.
Everything's
Coke. Up north, like y'all all call it pop, don't you?
Soda. I'll take a soda. Yeah. Pepsi, Pepsi soda.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, kind of interesting, but
that's the way it is, man. But
north and south, man.
Scott, thanks so much for joining us today, man. We really greatly appreciate it.
Was fun, man.
Oh, hey, thank you for having me. And I'm sorry that I'm not going to get the whole band up at noon on a Sunday for some reason. I can't.
That's what I told Doug.
Still sleeping.
Yeah, I told Doug I'm going to try to be up by 11.
Yeah. He's the same way. But like I said, you can catch powertakeoff.com. You can catch all their information.
Everywhere.
And then you can stream their music anywhere, and you can find them on YouTube and all the...
Are you selling your vinyl online as well?
Yep. I got a store, and the website's kind of connected to the store. And if anybody just...
Because you have some songs that aren't released on the vinyl that they can only get there.
Yep.
All right, cool.
And the interesting thing about the vinyl is the first half was recorded in Nashville with Malcolm Springer.
Okay. Go ahead.
And then the second half, the side B was recorded in Los Angeles with a guy named Chris Pappas.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
We met him early days. We wrote he helped us write quite a few of those songs that are on side B. I'm not, we're getting off and you guys were saying goodbye, but I'm a work in progress songwriter, but I definitely, he's, learned a lot from him, learned a lot from Malcolm, learned a lot, everybody you work with, you learn something from, and it betters you as a not only a musician, but a person too, you're dealing with people, you have a relationship. So, but no, I appreciate you guys having me and talking about Power Takeoff. Just, appreciate it so much. So thank you for the support.
Well, thanks for joining us.
And for what you do for music. Appreciate that. So keep it going. We'll get it all going together. Right.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Man, everybody check out Power Takeoff. And, this is the Nonsense Chronicles, and we are out of here.
Later.